Your flight ticket costs less than it did in 1980. Everything else about flying costs more. Before 1978, the federal government set every airline ticket price. The Civil Aeronautics Board, basically a pricing cartel with a government stamp, decided what you paid to fly from New York to Los Angeles. No competition, no discounting. And here's the trick: airlines had zero incentive to run lean because the government guaranteed their margins. So they bought fancy planes, hired crews at premium wages, and passed all of it to you through a fixed fare that never moved. Then deregulation hit. On October 24, 1978, President Jimmy Carter signed the Airline Deregulation Act. Suddenly, any airline could fly any route at any price. The CAB would dissolve within a decade. What happened next? Fares plummeted. A cross-country ticket that cost $600 in today's money dropped to $300. Lower-income passengers who'd never flown before could suddenly afford it. But deregulation created a bloodbath. Established carriers couldn't compete with new upstarts willing to operate on razor-thin margins. Pan Am collapsed, Eastern Airlines vanished, TWA died. The survivors consolidated into megacarriers, United, American, Delta, that still dominate today. Competition sounds good in theory. In practice, it killed most of the competitors. Here's where budget airlines enter the ledger. Southwest, founded in 1971 but thriving after deregulation, proved you could make money flying cheap. They flew point-to-point instead of hub and spoke, one aircraft type instead of 5, no meals, no assigned seating, no frills. The unit cost per passenger dropped, and here's the trick: they passed those savings to the customer. By the 1990s and 2000s, the model spread. Ryanair in Europe, JetBlue in America, AirAsia in Asia all proved the same formula worked globally. Ticket prices fell another 40 to 50% in real terms. A transatlantic flight that cost $200 in 1990 now costs $400. Adjusted for inflation, that's a collapse. So where did the money go? First, labor costs fell dramatically. Pilots and flight attendants at legacy carriers earned union wages, $100,000 to $200,000 annually. Budget airlines hired at $35,000 to $50,000. Second, fuel efficiency improved. Modern turbofans use 25% less fuel per seat than 1980 engines. Third, aircraft utilization skyrocketed. A plane in 1978 flew maybe 6 hours daily. Today's budget carrier flies 12 to 14 hours. But passengers noticed something else. Comfort vanished. Seats shrunk from 32 inches to 28 inches of legroom. Checked bags went from free to $30 or $50. Carry-on limits tightened. Meals disappeared. Boarding became a cattle call. The airline wasn't losing money on the ticket, it was making money on everything else. Baggage fees alone generate billions annually across the industry. And here's the final accounting: megacarriers adapted. They created budget subsidiaries. United launched United Express. American created American Eagle. They competed with low-cost carriers on price while milking premium cabins and loyalty programs for higher margins. The industry split into two tiers: cheap seats and expensive ones with almost nothing in between. Deregulation delivered on one promise: it made flying accessible to the masses. A family earning $50,000 annually could now afford a vacation flight. That's a genuine win for consumer economics. But the cost, a race to the bottom on service, comfort, and working conditions. The ticket is cheaper. Everything else is itemized. The system works exactly as designed. Deregulation didn't create cheaper air travel by magic. It created incentives to cut costs everywhere possible. Wages, amenities, turnaround time, fuel waste. Every line item on the ledger got scrutinized. The winners were passengers who valued price above all else. The losers were workers, and anyone who remembered when flying felt like something other than a bus with wings. Today's $200 flight to Miami represents the full cost of that choice. You got the ticket price you wanted. The airline got the fee structure it needed. And the entire system, from pilot salaries to seat dimensions, reflects 45 years of competitive pressure to cut costs. Nothing about that equation was inevitable. It was built line by deregulation and the market forces that followed. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe for the hidden economics behind the prices you pay every day. There's a new breakdown every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.